I squatted every day for 1,000 days. Let's get into it. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, by Aristotle. That is too true. And as always, I'm going to compare this to aim training because I just like to. All right? Keep aim training every day. Keep working out every day.
At the end of the day, man, you have to be happy who you are. When the lights go out, the TV goes out, phones, tablets, you name it, when all that gets switched off and you head to your bed and you close your eyes, you answer to that one thing. You know, that one thing, you can call it whatever you want to call it, the soul, the inner you,
Yep.
The spirit. That's kind of what makes us feel who we are. So, you know, throughout the waking hours of our life, we please others, we do things to show off or to get energy from the environment. Look at me, I'm so good.
Look at me, I'm so good, you know. I'm Voltaic Master, I'm Voltaic Grandmaster. I'm this rank, I'm that rank. I got this accomplishment in video games. I got that accomplishment in video games, all right? At the end of the day, you have to be happy with you don't have to answer to anybody. You know, the only person you have to answer to is yourself.
You know, but when the lights go out and you close your eyes, you answer to that one thing. And so I think the closer we get to that one thing, that spirit, that soul, that whatever you want to call it, the happier you're going to be. And sometimes to other people around you, even the close ones, it might not necessarily make sense why you're doing what you're doing.
Exactly. All right. It's not supposed to make sense what you're doing to like anybody else. All right. Everybody is doing their own thing. All right. Like your interests don't have to be interesting to your next door neighbor, your coworkers, your friends or whatever, you know. What you like doing is what you like doing. If you want to find some other people that like doing the same thing that you are, then you have to go out and find that group. You have to go out and find those people. All right?
Why wouldn't you do something else? Why are you doing that? I think you should do this. He thinks you should do that.
Exactly. All right? Why are you wasting your time aim training? Why are you wasting your time making like YouTube videos? Why are you wasting your time like being like an average gym bro, an average FPS bro? Why are you wasting your time?
He thinks you should do this. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you. This is one thing that I've kind of learned as I've kind of grown older. You know, we are essentially these little reflectors. We are reflecting our environment, and that light, that image that we kind of project back into the environment is essentially a collection of all of the things that are shining towards us.
So I think Yvonne is getting at maybe you're a product of your environment in some sense. As a, you know, the whole nature versus nurture argument. I would also lean onto the fact, like more so that people are products of their environment. I mean, you know, obviously there's going to be like outliers where like, oh, it's just this person's nature that they were like this. They're talented or they're fucked up in some way. They're talented in this way. They suck at this, but they're good at that. To some degree, you know, that's probably true. But I would also argue that people are more affected by their environment than they are, I don't know, their inner self. All right. People, like when I was young, I had no idea what I wanted to do or whatever. All right. And what he was getting at earlier in the video, like talking about that inner person, you know, I don't even think like people that are like extremely talented know or like had to answer to that like person or whatever.
This is why environments are very important. This is why people in your environment are very important, because essentially you're going to become a little snippet of that person, that individual, in the grand scheme of things of you. So
Yeah, again, what I was saying before, whatever your hobby is, whatever you like doing, I think it's like really important for you to find like other people, however, that are also interested in the things that you're doing. All right.
everyone has a part to play in you, and so you got to pick very, very carefully what you do. When you're a baby, you reflect everything, and as we grow older through our 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, that reflection becomes less and less because we're becoming more and more formed individuals. And I guess that light gets less reflected. And then when you're 90 years old and getting ready kind of to see out your life, there's no reflection at all. You are basically a done, cooked person. You are finished.
You're cooked.
So that reflection, even though it's important and it's a sign of youth, vibrance, you have to be very, very careful, because some of us are finding ourselves in situations where it's not exactly the best for us. And so
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I would argue a majority of people are in shitty situations than are like, well, nah. Are there more people that are like in the middle class, or are there more people like in the like lower tier class or whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know. I think there's more people in the middle class, but there's still a significant amount of people that have just been dealt a shit hand, and it is just exponentially harder to pick yourself up out of like a lower class,
finding which light to actually reflect, which one that allow in, is very, very difficult. And what I always say to everyone, man, and the way I think about all this stuff, is that at the end of the day, man, when you close your eyes, it has to make sense to you. That feeling, that gut feeling, that's who I answer to.
Exactly. The only person you have to answer to is yourself. As long as you're like having fun with whatever you're doing, the thing that you're wasting your time with is not actually a waste of time.
A lot of these decisions that I have in my life, man, I say to people all the time, let me sleep on it. Literally what that means, this is how I've interpreted that, saying.
Oof, overhead press.
Let me close
Sucks
my
ass.
eyes, man, and talk to that soul, that spirit. When people say, let me sleep on it, that's exactly what I feel like is happening. They're going to take it back to the chief, to the soul, to the spirit. Sometimes it makes no sense why you feel the way you feel, or why you fall in love with the person that you fall in love with.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost got a mind of its own. And sometimes there's a conflict between your consciousness, your conscious level, your brain, and that gut feeling. And sometimes you get torn in two. And for me, man, I've learned many, many times over that the gut feeling is the one to go for.
Yep.
It's never gonna steer you into something that's gonna make you unhappy, even though it might not seem to somebody else as optimal, even though that the majority of people out there will say one thing and you're doing the exact opposite thing. If it makes sense to you, man, you do it. Because guess what, man, when you close those eyes, it's just you and that voice, that soul, that spirit. So you doing what the environment wants you to do is not gonna make you happy. So sometimes, especially.
So let's say you're chasing after a certain result or a certain goal, either like working out or like maybe some video game thing. What you're gonna have like influences, that's obvious, and I think it'd be stupid to say that you're not influenced by anything. You're gonna have like things that influence you, and you're just gonna be able to feel what you need to do to make it to that next step.
Especially as in our teenage years, especially picking a career and studying and becoming adults, young adults, all that stuff. A lot of the time, man, we are doing what other people want us to do. I did what my parents said for me to do. I didn't go into nursing because I thought it would be the greatest thing in the world. It was a recommendation from my parents, and eventually I kind of found my way in there.
Yep.
And then when I got into the nursing gig, first year in, my boss says, you need to go back to uni and specialize. So I did that. So this is kind of how like it's a slippery slope from one person to another person to another person. All of a sudden you're like 50, 60, 70 years old. Eventually I feel like you're going to have to dig your claws in and stop that slide. And you're going to have to ask, what do I want from this shit? Because when I close my eyes, none of these people are there. It's just that one voice.
Yeah. And then obviously, you know, you're going to need to do, there's things that you need to do and things that you want to do. Now, obviously, you don't really need to do anything, you know, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but, you know, depending on where you live, you know, what country, you know, it's like you need money to survive, you need to have a job, you need to have some sort of income to survive, you need to make money in order so that you can supply your hobby with the in your life with the things that you want to do. All right,
that one soul, that spirit. This is what I feel like, you know. A lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to a lot of you, and it shouldn't. It freaking should not. And your shit shouldn't make sense to me either. This is what makes you and me. I think we need to have that courage to go with that decision, to go with that idea, that feeling. Because ultimately, man, like, happiness is there. Close your damn eyes. It's not in the shit that you buy. It's not the car you drive, the phone you have, the house, all that stuff. It's not there, man. It's, you close your eyes and you work that shit out. That's where you're gonna find it, man. You're not gonna find it through your senses, through hearing, taste, touch, all that stuff. You're gonna find it. Close your damn eyes. Close them. And this is where I feel like meditation fits in nicely. You know, they've got a fancy word for it called meditation. It's just freaking alone time, man. It's alone time for you to talk to that, to not talk, to listen to your gut, to the God, whatever you want to call it, man. I'm down with it. It's some alone time, man. This is why, some of you guys don't understand this, but this is why I like damn silence when I'm training, man. I don't even want anybody near me, man. I don't want music. Why do I need to hear Tupac?
This is kind of funny. So I, like, when I first started working out, what I do, I did like P90X and like Taekwondo, and I did like a couple sports like when I was like younger, like 12, 13, but I didn't really work out then. It wasn't until like later I got into like martial arts and then at home working out. So I don't know. I've always worked, like done workouts with like some sort of background noise. I don't think this particularly makes you a good or bad person, whether or not you do or don't listen to music. I like listening to music. All right. I can work out with or without music, but if it were up to me, I would rather listen to some sort of music.
Tell me something, or Snoop Dogg, or some dance song, just bang, 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 just smash him in the head, 24/7.
It's not 24/7, Yvonne. All right.
It's joining the crew that everyone else smashes Yvonne in the head. Now it's a beat.
Now, there is probably something he's getting at where it's like, once you start pushing, like as far as like working out or maybe even aim training, I'm pretty sure this is true for both. As you start nearing your like 90, 95%, 100% like output at whatever you're doing, it's probably going to be more beneficial for you to like not listen to like any type of music. You know, I can get behind that with what he's saying.
Straight to the skull. So the only time I have for a long time is when I close my eyes, go to sleep. And that thing lasts 5-10 minutes before I get knocked out anyway. I want you to not sleep, close your eyes and see what's up. See what that voice tells you. You know, alone time is powerful, man. This is when you get to know yourself. And people are all about, listen to a book. Every time you walk, listen to a book. Every time you drive, listen to a book. Listen.
I'd be willing to bet if most people did this, like if they just close their eyes or whatever, there would be like more regret with people. Like, oh, I should have did this earlier in the day. I should have did that. I could have done this. I could have done that. I'd be willing to bet that. And this is true for myself too.
listen to a song, listen to a rapper, this rapper, oh, that's hot, this is hot, everyone's hot. What about you listen to yourself, man? How about that? How about you leave yourself with your own thoughts? Do you want to subscribe to that guy? You. Listen to you. Your thoughts. Subscribe the shit out of that guy. Top of the list. That's who you should listen to.
True.
Not me or any other influencer or any other damn book in any of that shit. You shouldn't listen to this shit.
True, I shouldn't, but I will anyway, all right?
Of course, I'm not asking you to listen to yourself 24/7 and go and freaking somewhere in Mount Everest and just camp out there for the rest of your life, the rest of your existence. You just listen to your voice. What I'm saying is, it is important. And in this day and age, with all this shit around us, man, like none of us have a...
What he's getting at is like a lot of like with all the like social media stuff, there's a lot of comparing, you know? Like let's say you have your hobby is working out or your hobby is like aim training. There is a lot of like comparing and like peacocking going on. And in case you didn't know, whenever you compare yourself to someone else, generally it's like to a better person, it's going to rob you of your own happiness is what he's getting at. All right. So he's simply just stating that, you know, maybe don't compare yourself to like other people and where they're at, you know, in reference to like where you're at, you know, maybe doing your hobby.
Have any alone time, man. How the hell do you know what you are? I feel like we should have alone time every day because the evolution of ourself, of our existence is continuously evolving, right? It's evolution.
Yep.
Ivan 10 years ago is a different Ivan right now.
Yep.
It's a different guy, man. I might look the damn same because my face hasn't freaking aged and you guys reckon I'm 20. But I'm damn 33 years old. I'm 13 years on from that 20-year-old Ivan. Things have changed. My body has changed. Now I've got damn gray hairs on the side of my head.
So I'll say this. Since I started aim training, like, I don't know, my right hand feels way more in touch with like tiny, fine motor movements than my left hand. My left hand feels absolutely stupid. And then I feel like I have so much more, I don't know, proprioception with like my right hand.
20-year-old man didn't have that. So if I've got a gray hair, that means my soul, my being, my needs have completely changed. Not maybe completely all of them, but some things have definitely changed. I need some alone time to listen to that shit, man. I need an update to the system. What the hell are we doing, man? What is the latest thing you need for happiness to occur?
I need another motherfucking PR, all right? That's what I need. I need it.
When is the last time you were left the hell alone without any stimulation? You're just sitting there in your room.
I actually have no idea.
I think previous generations had that by default because they didn't have TVs and laptops and tablets and phones.
Well, yeah, you know, look at what happened with technology. At first, it was the newspaper and the book, all right? Then what was it? Then it was the TV. You know, then it was cassette player, CD player, you know, cell phone, computer, and then so on and so forth, all right?
And all this shit. I find myself consciously think to myself, holy shit, man, every time I go to the toilet, I've got a phone, I'm listening to something.
Yeah.
Every single waking moment, I am listening to something, I'm thinking about something that somebody else is triggering me. I want to listen to myself for a bit, man.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you need to be able to understand there is a time for that and there is not a time for that, all right?
I want to listen to myself for a little bit. And in a way, these videos that I'm making is this. This is why this has been going on for such a long time for me, because through this damn journal, I am just doing it talking. You can have the same conversations without you recording it and sending it out to 10, 20,000 people.
Yep.
This is what I'm doing with this. I'm letting you guys into my psyche, but this is my alone time. There's no one around me right now. It's me in my garage. I'm looking at those sexy ass plates spread all around the place in that bar, and I feel like I want to do another set. That's the only thing around me. Alone time. I have a feeling when you have anxiety, when people have panic attacks, and believe me, I've seen many of those over the last 13 years of my nursing career. It's my 13th year this year. Panic, anxiety. You know, like they don't teach this shit at school. They don't teach this shit at school, man. No doc or whoever you speak to, any professional is going to tell you this. I have a feeling that anxiety is just a revolt. It's the citizens of your soul torching the damn houses, the huts, torching the damn village, because we're not happy with the damn government around here, man. I'm not happy with the shit that's going on here. I'm gonna set this damn alight. Where the hell are the royals? I'm gonna guillotine each of their skulls.
Yeah, the whole premise with like the panic attacks, it's like some days you've just had enough of like the bullshit or whatever, and I would imagine those are like the random days where it's like any one little thing can just set you off or whatever, and you're just like, the fucking toilet paper roll is the wrong way or whatever, or like the spices are like turned behind so you can't see which is which or whatever, or something stupid. Or like even at the gym, why is this person doing a tri-set? Why do they have like 3 pieces of equipment? Why are they using that? Hey, can I get in? All right. That is mind-blowing to me for public gyms.
I ain't happy. This is what anxiety is in my eyes. This is not a professional Ivan talking to you. This is just me thinking about this for the last 13 years of my career, seeing all these people come in and freaking out. Are they really doing things in their life which their soul wants? Or are they just catering to the people around and to the forces around and pulling strings on them? Are you doing shit that you want to do? I don't give a shit how much they pay you for that particular thing that you're interested in, what other people think about it. This is you, man. You're gonna be lying in that basket by your ass self, okay? The shit isn't made for 2, it's made for you. So these people that are stringing the hell out, telling you what's up, are they gonna be laying in that casket with you? They're not.
No.
So how about you take care of yourself? As sobering the hell this is, man, I've got many loved ones in my life. I care for a lot of people in my life.
And that's a good point that he's making. The people should, well, I don't know if they should, but people are going to look out for themselves first, all right? To think otherwise is absolutely hilarious, all right? Unless it's like some sort of like family member thing or close friend or something like that. People will always base their decisions around what benefits them the most. And if they don't do that, they will eventually learn to do that. All right?
But at the end of the day, man, you are alone. You are alone. You're going to go to the earth alone. So until you fix yourself, you're not going to be good to anyone else. This is ground zero stuff. Close your eyes. Have some alone time. Listen to that God, to that gut, to that spirit, to that soul. Listen to it. The answers are within. They're not on some Wikipedia page. They're not on any channel in the billions of channels on this damn platform and more platforms. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Close your damn eyes and listen.
Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, from Aristotle. All right? Knowing yourself is the beginning. And that's the hardest part. The first step is the hardest step. Yeah, a lot of interesting questions and like realizations this video has. I think it's great. 100%, man. Great video. Definitely. Beast, humble, strong, both physically and mentally. Absolute living legend. Yeah, true. Yeah, to be like squatting like that much over that period of time, that's something, man. That counts for something. This was a great video. All right. So that's about it. All right. See ya.